Good morning, XRP Army. Good morning, Crypto Army. How you doing today? This is Crypto Will, and I'm here in Hawaii. And things are looking a little better today. I see my coins are in the green. There's some, not doing so well, but the ones that I bought years ago is the ones that I'm up. So I'm be honest about that with you. All the ones that I bought recently are down, You gotta expect that. This is like Vegas, baby. The crypto market is like Vegas. You place your bet, you see where it goes. I bought a little more Solana today. I bought more XRP today. I bought more H-bar today. I even bought some bunk today. Because I do like bunk, and I bought a little bit more of Dogecoin because I love the concept of Dogecoin. Okay. Now, I bought more of Hemi. I got money aside for when we find out if we're going to have a government shutdown or not, because that's when it's going to get bloody. If we have a government shutdown, it's going to get real bloody. So that's why I have money aside for that. I'm not giving up. I refuse to give up. So today's a pretty cloudy day here in Hawaii. And I just wanted to do this update, give you some hope, because I got plenty of faith. I really don't have hope, I have faith. I believe in the 4-year cycles. I believe that we are going to have an alt season. I don't know what kind of alt season, but I know we're going to have one. I know it's going to be around the end of October, November, could be December, could be January. Nobody knows, That's why I say it's like Vegas. You got to place your bets, And my bets are placed. I got other coins that I'm going to be buying, like Avalanche, Ondo, XLM, stuff like that, But, it's really good to get into the market. This is a great buying opportunity. I'm not saying invest everything you have. Maybe some people might, took me the wrong way. I didn't say bet the house on things, Just place your bets, Place a little bit, see where it goes, If you love the projects and you love, I love XRP, I love Dogecoin, I love H-bar, I love Solana, because I know when Solana goes up, bunk will go up, It seems to work, And everything seems to work along when Bitcoin makes its move, Bitcoin's going to rise up. We're all going to rise up. And then Bitcoin's going to get to that point, where it's going to drop and people are going to put their money into altcoins, I believe now that people are going to be rotating from gold into Bitcoin and into alts. So, I still have that belief. And I'm not going to stop believing that, I really had to consider my positions, but I decided that I am not going to panic sell. There is no way that the market makers are going to make me panic sell. You just have to place your bet, and you're not always going to win. You're not always going to make that 10x. I'm happy making 2x's. I mean, you get into the smaller meme coins, yeah, you're probably going to see a 10x, a 20x, stuff like that. But, you try to pick that one. You're going to have to place 100 bets to hit a few, And my meme coin, my low cap meme coin, 1.6 billion market cap bunk, I got a little bit of money in there, and I think I'm going to do well this year, Like Solana. I had to buy more Solana. I couldn't help myself. I really couldn't help myself to buy Solana. I believe Solana is going to do amazing things, Yeah. Yes, I do. I hope you are all doing well. I hope that you're not discouraged and you panic sell and, because I know you're going to buy back. Crypto market's addicting. Once you're in it, you probably did sell to get out, get into a better position. Me, I don't like taking those chances because you never know if it's going to drop or if it's going to rise, I just placed my bets and that's it, Maybe in the future I might think differently, But I don't see me doing that anytime soon. I got my loan, I got my money aside, and I'm going to see where it takes me this year, And I just hope you didn't put yourself in too much debt, because I didn't take out a huge loan. I took out a pretty small amount of loan, so, a small amount of debt where I can handle that, I don't like seeing people, go crazy and put all their money into it and then they can't pay rent, or stuff like that, or they put themselves in a financial bind where, they can't get out of it, because that's not what crypto's about. You don't get into crypto to think you're going to become a millionaire overnight. That's not going to happen. Very few people become millionaires overnight. And those are usually people that were born into money, and they have enough to risk. But the average Joe that's working a 9 to 5, and saving up his life savings and throwing it into crypto, that could be a very, very bad mistake. But alt season's coming, folks. I believe alt season is coming, and I'm gonna enjoy this ride. I'm riding that wave, man. I'm riding that wave, and I'm hoping it's gonna be a big one, baby. I really do. I wish you guys all the luck in the world, man. All the faith in the world that you are gonna be successful. I truly believe if you do what's right for you, you are gonna be successful, no matter what. No matter what comes in your way. It might be hard at first, but once you get through it, man, you're gonna say, yeah, I learned from that, and yeah, you have a great day. I love you, God loves you, and aloha from Hawaii. Oh, here's the wife.
What's up?
Yeah, check you later. Bye-bye.